Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. This is your boy Simbawi Nibaye Jr., aka TK, along with my co-host Omar Williams. We call him O. Say what's up to the peeps.
What's going on, good people? How y'all
It's
feel?
another lovely Wednesday, and y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's Affirmation Wednesday. So y'all know what we do. We do our affirmations every Wednesday. We've been doing this for a good minute now, so we don't have any plans to stop anytime soon. So if you got your affirmations and you memorize them or whatever you got, get ready to go because it's affirmation time. Are you ready? Here we go. Today will be a good day. Today will be a great day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be a phenomenal day. Today will be stress free. Today will be a stressless day. Today, I will overcome all barriers that want to block my progress. Today, all circumstances, issues, and situations will work in my favor. Today, all things will line up for my good. Today, I will become better than who and what I was yesterday. I am a go getter. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I am an overcomer. I never lose. I either win or I learn. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. I will conquer this day. And everything I have spoken into this day will happen as I have affirmed because I am more than a conqueror. Let's get it popping. So today we're talking about keeping your word. Keeping your word. And kind of like a lost art, I would say, in today's world. It's kind of almost seems old fashioned, like, people don't, keeping your word is not something that people do anymore. And, when it comes to business, people have agreements or contracts that they write up and sign, things of that nature. And then you have, just life in general where someone says, hey, I'll be there at 7 p.m. I'll be there. And that's your word saying, hey, I'm giving you my word. I'll be there at 7 p.m. So you have, life in general, and then you also have the business aspect of it. And I always say to people that, my life is my business and my business is my life. But for the purposes of this discussion, let's talk about life in general and business. So for me personally, I am very high on communication, very high. Like communication is like number one on my list. Like we got to communicate. Whether it's, through email, us talking face to face, or it's through a text message, whatever. We got to communicate. Communication is key. And that's in any relationship, business, personal, whatever. And forgive me if I'm wrong, I could be OCD on communication. I could be. It's very possible. I will not put that. I could be OCD on communication, but I think I would rather over communicate than to under communicate or not communicate at all. Because that way, at least, everything's kind of out there on the table. And so keeping your word nowadays, like I said, it's kind of like a lost art. And for me, I'm very big on black and white, meaning paper and pen, especially from a business aspect. And when it comes to, things personally, it's a matter of me saying, okay, I'm learning and continue to learn to trust people for what they say they're going to do or not going to do. Because it goes both ways. It's like, oh, this person, I said I'm not going to do so and so, but then you go ahead and do it, or you didn't keep your word, or you say I'm going to do so and so, and then you don't do it, or you're not keeping your word. Kind of goes both ways. So there's positives and negatives, but I think for the positive side of it is if you say you are going to do something or you're not, then just keep your word. Don't go the other way. So in doing this, it's all about your reputation. It represents who you are. Like your word represents you. So when you're uh, your reputation goes before you, people will always say, "Oh, don't mess with so and so," or "Don't do business with them because X, Y, Z." It's a
Mhm.
reputation that you have. It's your rep, and so I'm high on that. So I'm gonna let O jump in here because I'm kind of I don't I want to let him get his word in because I'm pretty sure he's big on people keeping their word too. Because I can run down instance after instance after instance where people have not kept their word with me personally, or people who I know who said something and didn't keep their word, and it really impacted a situation in a major way. So, jump in here real quick and just
No, I'm gonna say from this standpoint, if you are a person that doesn't keep their word, or you may have not kept your word one time before, because trust me, I'm not gonna say here and that I've said things or done things that I might have said A, but I did B. Right now, I'm not proud of it either. Trust me, I'm not proud of it. But what I'm saying is, you gotta be, you have to be willing to accept the consequences of that. Right. So if you don't keep your word, people will start dealing with you from that place. So, like, if they're talking to you, or business is being handled, or something important is being talked about, they're not going to take you as serious because they're going to just be like, I can't count on this guy, or I can't count on what he just told me or she just
mhm.
told me. So, like, if you're going to be a man of your word or a woman of your word, or you're not going to be a woman of your word or a man of your word, you got to be willing to deal with the consequences of that. And I feel like, again, like I said, over my years, I feel like I've done things that I've said things that I didn't do, and it came with consequences. You know what I'm saying? It came with people just dealing with me away now.
Mhm.
And you ask me, if anybody were to ask me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a man of my word. But you know what? There's probably 30 people lined up saying no, he's not a man of his word. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Right.
In my heart of hearts, I feel like I'm gonna say what I mean and mean what I say, and I'm gonna do what I say, right? But then, like, there's people out here who say, I don't know. So yeah, but yeah,
Well,
man, yeah,
I think too. I mean, like me personally, like number one, no one's perfect. Let's just get that out of
exactly.
the way. No one's perfect. All right. I know there have been times where I haven't been a man or person of my word. I will say that there are the times that I am a person of my word, as the times that I'm not, far outweigh the ones that I'm not, that I haven't been. That's for sure. But you know, like you said, there might be 30 people that can say, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
But you might have 1,000 that said you are. You know what I mean? So I mean, again, we're not perfect. But the thing that we want to get across too is that um it says a lot about who you are. And a lot of us,
I
we
agree.
want people to look at us in a certain way or treat us a certain way and things of that nature. And it's kind of like that's fine and good, but you have to be able, or you have to uh, present yourself in a way for people to do that. Now, of course, we're not sitting here saying that people are going to dictate who you are, what you are, and all that. But if you want to be treated in a certain way, a certain manner, your words got to be good. I know this is I'm a '90s kid, I would say. So '90s kid going into teenage years and all that, and so in the mid to late '90s, the phrase was, word is bond, or word is life. You remember those phrases? Word is life, word is bond. So those were the phrases that everyone used, and so it was kind of like they they had many applications, but the main representation of it was or it just became word. You're like word, word,
I
like
still say word.
yeah. You know what I mean? So like anybody who you hear say word, like you kind of can tell what era or what what kind of what century they're from when they came in, when they lived or whatever.
Right.
And so it went from like word is bond, word is life, then it was just word. You know what I mean? So now in today's in today's world, we're looking at the thing people say now is facts. Facts, facts, facts. You know what I mean? So facts was word to us in our day.
It's
You
the
know what I
same
mean?
difference. Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
difference. And so, you know, your word is your bond. So what does that mean? Well, that your word is something that people are going to lean on. They're going to be like, okay, you gave your word. It's just kind of a binding thing. I'm going to trust that you are going to be truthful to what you say, or word is life. You say, oh, word is life. It's like, okay, I am letting you know that this is the kind of life that I live. My word is good. And of course, everyone has their own interpretation of it. But I mean, it's really you saying, it's about being truthful and about being honest and about being integrous. And so whether it's in personal relationships, whether it's in business, your word is key. Let's take everyone back to a story real quick because, and this may seem really elementary, but there is a whole lot we can unpack in this story. Let's talk about the boy that cried wolf. The boy that cried wolf. So, and I'm pretty, it's sad that this generation probably has no idea what that story is because
Right.
it's kind of like over the years, like things have become, like I said, a lost art. But anyway, the boy that cried wolf. And so, to make a long story short, there was a boy, this is, that cried wolf. And so, this has been like a story that's been told down through generations. And it probably stopped at our generation, to be honest. uh the little boy that cried wolf. And so what he would do, he would go out and say, hey, there's a wolf coming, there's a wolf coming, there's a wolf coming. And he did this about 2 or 3 times, and he was playing around with it. And so they told him, look, one day you're going to tell us the truth about something, and no one's going to believe you because you always kept saying a wolf is coming, a wolf is coming, a wolf is coming, and there was no wolf. And you kept playing these games, and one day you're gonna tell us the truth, and we're not gonna believe you because your word has not been true all this time. Lo and behold, one day there was a wolf, and the boy is out telling everybody, "A wolf is coming! A wolf is coming! A wolf is coming!" And nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. Why? Because he built a reputation on not telling the truth to people, or a reputation. And let's just take that to where you're like, you're saying, hey, I'll be there at 7 o'clock p.m. You can count on me. And you don't show up.
Right.
I'll be there at 5 o'clock p.m., man. I'll be there.
Right.
And then you call a half an hour later, like, man, something else came up, man. I can't make it.
Right.
Mind you, life happens.
Right.
But when you build a reputation of not showing up and not being there, and people stop calling you and asking you to do stuff,
Right.
well, there's a reason for that.
Right.
Because your word is not good.
Right.
You keep saying you're going to be there and you don't show up. Now, look, here's my thing. Saying that you can't make it is a lot better than just not showing up at all. Because not showing up at all, to me, number one, I believe that to be disrespectful. Number two, I believe that to be ignorant. And number three, I believe that to just be a bad way to represent yourself to whoever it is you promise you'd be there, and to others who are probably going to hear about the fact that this is what you do on a continuous basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's disrespectful to the person who relied on and trusted in you. All right, that's number one. And then it looks bad on you as a person, because no matter who it is you deal with, people always, even with hiring for jobs, like, you want a reference from someone, right? How you going to get a reference from someone? They're like, you know what? This person's word is not good. Like, when they say they're going to do something, they're not going to do it. How are you going to get hired? Or how are you going to get business? When your reputation says, when Google says you got a 2.5 rating and all your reviews are not that good, you're not going to get any business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a whole conglomerate of things that go along with it. Let's do one more quick story. I'll let O jump in here. One more quick story. Um, I just had it in my head just now. I just lost it. So, go ahead, jump in. I'll get it back
Yeah.
in a minute.
No. So let's just go back to that boy cried wolf. Just how powerful words are, right? Like, so, like, they say your brand. What's it say? Speak it, believe
Think
it,
it, speak it,
achieve it.
achieve it. Right. Think it,
Right.
speak it, achieve it.
That man that cried wolf was speaking them wolves up, brother. to the point he manifested the wolves, man. Like he kept saying the wolves are coming, and it was a lie, but it eventually but words are powerful. You got to watch what we say, not even just holding to our word or keeping our word, but you got to watch what words we do say. So even in keeping your word and watching your word, don't tell somebody you're going to do something and you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or don't tell somebody you're going to do something and you don't really want to tell them no, and then you wait till the day of to be like something came up and you knew a week prior. You just didn't want to say no at the time, or like keep your word and say the right words. Don't just say anything to get, some people say anything just to get to the next conversation. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So like in keeping your word, don't just be willy-nilly with whatever you're saying. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And I'm gonna piggyback off what you said, how words have power. I mean, like you said, like he talked the wolf up. Like however long it took, he talked the wolf up. And so let's dive into this subconscious mind thing. Like the power of your subconscious mind. Like, of course, I'm pretty sure he didn't recognize it at the time of the moment, but over time, he talked the wolf up. He said, "The wolves are coming. The wolf is coming. Wolf is coming." And pretty much, the words that we say have power. It's not just power in a positive way. It's power in a negative way too.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. The good book, which would be the word of Elohim, says that death and life lie in the power of your tongue. So you can speak life to something, or you can speak death to something, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, whatever. You can speak life or death into that situation or into whatever. And so crying wolf, he pretty much spoke the wolf into existence to where it finally came to pass. Let's talk about that. Go ahead.
And no, not to cut you off, but like that's what those affirmations are. Like, so in the beginning of this podcast, for lack of a better way to put it, we're crying affirmations out, right?
Right.
You may not even feel some of them things, but cry it out. Keep on crying it out. And then you know what I mean? Just keep doing it daily. Like he said, he's crying wolf. Wolf shows up.
Right.
Crying out. I remember me, you went to that money seminar. I don't even know what was it called?
The one in Atlanta?
You still got that card in your wallet?
I don't know.
My wallet was down there, but it was a bunch of like affirmations of like just
that was the one in Philly. That was the one
in Philly. It was a free one. Yeah, but it was like two sides of the card with affirmations, man. Just talking like getting rid of all those stigmas about money and
right.
And again, some of them things you may not quite believe, but you keep crying them things out, and before you know it, you start actually living them things out. So
yeah.
Affirmations
are powerful, man.
Powerful, man.
Everything that we speak out of our mouths is powerful. Everything that we speak out of our mouths, it creates something. And that's something that I actually had to learn, and I continue to learn, that everything we speak out of our mouths creates something.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really recognize that a lot because we look at our circumstances, our issues, our situations, where our life is. And this could be anybody, whether you are well off or you're not, or you're somewhere in the middle. There are people who are well off who are still missing things in their lives, and they're kind of like, man, how can I make this better? Because let's be honest, money is not everything.
Mm-mm.
It's important. It's highly important. It's not everything, though. And then there are those who aren't well off, who are trying to get to a place as well. And when you continue to talk down to yourself or talk down to a situation, you're creating more of that situation in your life. And so we always say, the thing that you focus on, you make the biggest. When you're, and it goes along even with keeping your word. Like after a while, when your word is not good, it just becomes a part of you. And you don't even know it. Like you start saying stuff just habitually. Like you'll be like, I'll tell them I'll be there at 7, but I probably won't get there at 8. That's habitual. Like from the get-go, you're not gonna get there at 7 o'clock.
Right.
You're like, I'm gonna tell them I'll be there at 7, but I'm really gonna be there at 8.
Right.
So now you've become a habitual liar or a
Wow.
habitual, your word has become habitually no good
Right.
to where it's become a part of you so much that now you don't even recognize that you're doing it. It becomes a part of who you are.
Right.
So, and again, that just goes to show that it represents who you are. Now, if you look down at the bottom of our frame here, it says Frame My Mind Ain't Podcast. It says invoking conversations, you know, interviews and insights from industry leaders, okay, challenging your mind, your attitude, and your character. Look at that last word, character. Your reputation is all about your character. What do you want people to say about you while you're here on this earth and then after you've left this earth? I had a cousin of mine who passed away recently, and she was 34 years old, I believe.
Oh man.
And not to go to any detail, but I did not recognize the impact she had on people's lives as she came in contact with, particularly her sorority sisters that she was a part of. And it really made me look. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that she made that big an impact on those ladies while she was in school at the time. And then, we know that those of you who know about fraternities and sororities, though, it's a brother and sisterhood for life. Like it's a lifetime thing. And then I didn't realize how much of an impact she had in the public school system, where she lived at. And I knew she was involved, and I knew that she was, she wanted to do things there, and she didn't want to move out because she wanted to help, out where she lived at in the inner city. And so, like, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. That's where I'm from, and so that's where she lived. And she did not want to move out of Trenton, New Jersey because she wanted to be a help to that community. And so I didn't realize that, her keeping her word was important to her. Like she didn't want to get up and leave, and people were trying to, say, "Hey, maybe you should come live over here, or come go over there and do something." And she's like, "No, like I want to stay here and I want to help." And she kept her word, even up to her last day on this earth. And it amazes me that her word that she kept to her sorority sisters and to the educational system in Trenton, New Jersey, and other areas was impactful to other people. So your words, like they're so powerful. Like we say, think and speak and achieve it. Like whatever you think about becomes eventually what you say, and eventually what you do. So if you're the kind of person that says, "Hey, I'll tell them I'll be there at 7, but I'm really going to be there at 8," like you've already thought this through in your head, which means now you're going to say this out to someone, and then eventually you're going to do it. Like that's your intent to do that. So keeping your word, it's important, man. Like it takes you a long way. There are people who will do business with you without signing a contract or an agreement just based off of your word.
Mm-hmm.
Because your word is that good. It's that
Mm-hmm.
strong. It's that powerful. It's that dependable. You know what I mean? And so there is no signing of paperwork and all that stuff. They're like, you know what? Your reputation precedes you. Everyone that's talked highly about you. Your word is good. Let's do business.
Yep.
And that also goes for personal relationships. People will take your word for it because your reputation precedes you. Others have spoken highly of you. Whether it's, a friendship or just, somebody you just met. Like there's people, and I'm not putting myself on a high horse. I'm just giving you an example. There are people who have trusted me with their projects, whether it's musically or it's video. And though I do get paid to do what I do, there are people who are like, you know what, I ain't got to sign no agreement or contract. Like I've heard about what you do. I heard that you do great work. I'm like, we want you to do this because we've heard that you're good at what you do. Now, me personally, I'm all about black and white because from a business standpoint, that's what I grew up with. And I've seen enough to know that, having things from start to finish, if something happens to go wrong or something just goes south, like everyone knows how things are going to end if something happens. That's just me. All right. That's my thing. It's my pet peeve. It's not me saying that you're a liar. I don't trust you. It's just a matter of that's how I run my business. That's what I do, or my business is. And there's others who are willing to say, hey, you know, we ain't got to sign nothing. Like, we're good. And I still try to say, hey, let's just put something on paper just so we have it for record's sake, you know. And then because they trust me or they have heard of my reputation, they say, okay, let's just put something on paper for record's sake. But from our aspect, like, we're all in no matter what.
But
So
and not that I don't want to get too deep with it, but like contracts is establishing a word. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't want to get all deep with it. I'll keep it, you know what I'm saying? And then you sign your name on it. But yeah, that's all that's doing though. So when you say let's put something on paper, your whole that's like really a stamp of I'm holding this person account. Like I'm going to hold you to your word.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now when I come at you, or if I come at you with a little attitude, we got this on paper, brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't no handshake or wasn't no wink deal. Like,
right.
I got you, brother.
or no no barter agreement, nothing like that.
Exactly.
And I think the word you were about to say was accountable. Like, you hold you
Yeah,
accountable.
hold you accountable. Yeah,
that's
for
accountability.
Sure. Exactly.
You know, accountability.
Exactly.
I mean, it all ties together. Ties together. So, you know, just wanted to, talk about that today because, personally, I've had conversations with people over the past few months because me and my family, we're going through some transitions in our lives right now, but the good transitions, you know what I mean, that are great for us and our personal lives and our businesses. At the same time, there are some tough conversations we have to have with people, and there's some where they just like it just came with ease, and so but we had to make sure that if we're going to do this, we got to decide to do it, and then our word needs to be our word. Like, we can't go back on this. We can't decide, oh, well, we meant this. Like, no, we said what we meant what we said, and that's kind of how it is. And so, when that happens, and for us, thankfully to Elohim, all of our transitions that are happening have all, began well and ended well. And so, and that's on account of the fact that we've been, doing our best to do everything the right way. And our reputation has preceded us. And again, I'm not putting myself and my family and my wife on a high horse. Just give you an example of what can happen and what will happen when your word is good and your reputation speaks for you. So that's all. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there's others of you out there who have the same, testimony or story about that. And those of you who need a little help with your reputation and with you keeping your word, hopefully we gave you guys some help today on how to go about doing that. And maybe we'll have a follow-up on how you can, keep your word and make things better and change your mindset and not speak things that are negative and not do things intentionally. Like it's really hard for me when people say things and then they do things opposite of it, especially when you've done it before. I'm like, okay, this is not like a mistake. Like, you're intentionally doing this, and again, I go back to saying what time you're going to be there, but then you show up late, and now you've developed a reputation of being late or a reputation of not showing up on time. So now people can't depend on you, or they can't hold you accountable because they know, well, I know so-and-so, they're going to be late. They said they're going to be here at 7. No, they ain't. They're going to be here at 8. They're going to be late. So now, like, you're missing out because your reputation is bad.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going to stop there because I can keep going with that topic. But anything you got before we wrap up?
No, man, I just think this was good stuff. I think, it's good teaching, good, or even just a good talking about it, because, we can always, be better with our words, be more held accountable to what we say. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you could just be out here willy-nilly talking, just saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I say the other day? I said something the other day that was completely in opposition to what I've been affirming. But I was doing it to like get along with somebody said something to me, and I was like, I just agreed with it. Like, yeah, man. Like, and once I said it, it like everything jolted me. Like, hold up, no, that's not what we've been affirming. Like, you're saying this just to get along with this guy. That's not how you feel. That's not what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish I had the example, but it's not coming to the top of my head. But yeah,
Well,
man.
I'll say this. I mean, I'm continuing to make sure I don't respond to certain things that are said. Like, so I'll say hi to someone or good morning or hello to someone. Then like I'm like, hey, how are you? They're like living the dream, and I'm
Right.
kind of like, are you really
Are you
living the dream?
really
And
living the
I'm
dream?
not
Right.
like I'm like yeah yeah. I'm like, and so now I'm just like I don't either respond or
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say huh and just keep walking.
Keep walking.
Like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not. I'm not agreeing with that because I know right now you're being sarcastic or you're just saying what you think you should say, but you're really not living the dream. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not going to agree with that because then I don't want that thing jumping on me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that. No, I'm
Right.
good. I'm good. So
Right.
nah, I get you. I catch myself on that. And then
Mm.
other times people respond to me, and I'm like, I'll respond in a way like, so for instance, people will say, "Oh, it's Monday. It's Monday." It's like, "Oh, it's almost Friday." I'm like, "Every day is Friday." What you talking about? Every day is Friday. They're like, "Uh." I'm like, if you look at it like that, look, Friday. First of all, you look at it like that. Number one, Friday, I get here faster. Number
Mm.
two, it's like you look at it like that. It's like every day won't feel like a Monday.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for me, I get days mixed up sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute, like is today Saturday? Because sometimes my Mondays feel like Fridays. My Wednesdays feel like Saturdays. Like
Mm.
it's kind of like, what's your mindset on it? Like, what are you thinking? Like, however, as a man thinketh, so he is. So
Right.
if you're like, oh, today's Monday, oh my gosh, Monday's gonna treat you like, oh my gosh. You're gonna be like, I can't wait till Friday. It just got Monday. You just had 2 days off from this past Friday. Like Friday's 4 days away, you know? So I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday. We're almost there.
They
And
call
I've
it
heard,
hump day. Yeah.
yeah, hump day. Then I've heard of, Thursdays or Friday Eve. I'm like, what the heck is that?
They can't wait. They can't wait till Friday. But yeah,
You can't
man.
wait till Friday.
Yeah.
And then, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stop for real. I saw something well, I saw it on Instagram, I saw it other places where someone was saying it was a quote from someone, I can't remember who it is. It might have been Elon Musk. And he said, you spend all week long waiting to get to Friday. And I'm paraphrasing, waiting to get to Friday. And Friday finally gets here, and you waste your 2 days off doing stuff that's not good for you. Drinking, partying, buying stuff you don't need to buy. And then you complain about not having enough money. But you just got paid and you wasted most of it in 2 days because you couldn't wait to get to Friday.
Right.
And then when Monday comes, the 2 days you had off, you wasted. Now you're like, oh, it's Monday again. He's like, spend your days wisely. Like, stop wasting your 2 days off doing the wrong thing or the thing you shouldn't be doing. Not look. It's not like you can't have fun. And
Right.
I'm not here, no, condoning drinking and all. I'm not saying that. But live life. Like, don't if you work Monday to Friday and you have Saturday and Sunday off, like, don't waste your 2 days doing stuff that you got to recover from because you wanted to go act the fool.
Right.
Like, spend your days wisely, you know? But you also got to flip your mindset into thinking, okay, I know it's Monday, but what can I do to make my Monday better so I don't come in saying, oh, I got a case of the Mondays. Oh, it's hump day. We're almost there. Oh, it's Thursday, Friday Eve. Friday's here. Yay. Saturday, Sunday come, and now you're back to Monday again. It's like you just on this constant roller coaster every week between Monday and Friday. Constant. So,
That's a
anyway.
certain segment. I'm gonna say this. I think that's a certain segment of people because if you find me somebody that's in purpose or in meaning, like they have
Mm,
meaning in life, they don't know what day it is, man. So
yeah.
if you're finding yourself not liking the days of the week, you probably need to reevaluate what you're doing.
Mm,
That's all. So I'm done.
word.
Word, right? Word.
Word. So, well, look, guys, it's been a great conversation. A little of us all here at the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go over here. I think we got 2 comments here in the section. Hold on, I
Yeah,
got
what we got, brother?
good day, guys. So they can't wait to waste. I'm gonna put that on the screen real quick. So Facebook user, good day, guys. So they can't wait to waste. And he has another one here that says, so they loathe productivity and value waste. That's
Go.
some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff. They loathe productivity and value waste. Don't be a loather of productivity. And don't value waste, meaning don't value wasting time and wasting things away. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, time is precious. And time is one thing you cannot get back.
Nope.
You cannot get, I don't care how much freedom you get, you can't get the time back that you already lost. Because time keeps on ticking. Time keeps on ticking.
Into the future.
Into the future. You do not get time back. It's that simple. So don't waste it. I don't care how much sleep you get. You can't get sleep back. You got to get the rest you need. Once that day is come and gone, like, that's it.
That's it.
So, anyway, from all of us here at Friend of Mine Inc. Podcast, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been a great Wednesday, great conversation. We'll do it all again next week. Same place, same time. And look, guys, I know that, for those of you who have listened to the podcast, whether we're live here or, doing video here on our social platforms, or we're doing audio, we're working on, being more consistent with one or the other or both. So just, stick with it. We're going to make some changes coming into 2022. Right now the business is moving. My family has moved, so we're in the midst of a big move right now. I'm actually in a room that is not the studio right now, but some really good things coming through. And thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out with us just about every Wednesday of the year that we do it. And to my man O, who brings us our stock trade and investment podcast every first week of the month. We're a little behind between September and October, but don't worry, we will bring those back in real soon. I know we didn't do one in October yet, so maybe we should do one in October. Maybe we should do one next week.
We could do one next week, yeah.
To kind of get back on track there and get back to that first week of the month. So, all right, guys, we're done. Have a great rest of your week. And hey, guess what? We holla. Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's a frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.